Hello students, welcome back once again. So today we are going to study our next method of separation of mixture, that is the process of chromatography. Now this process, I have got certain materials with me required for this process to be carried out. So I am going to do this process with you and I am going to show it to you, and you will never forget this process for your whole lifetime. But before I begin with the process, let us just, in very short span of time, let us just understand the principle of it, then we begin with the process. Chromatography, which is also called as color writing. We call this as color writing because in the earlier days it was used to separate only the colored components. Nowadays it is also used to separate the colorless components also. So what is this process? It is the process of separating different dissolved constituents of a mixture by their adsorption on an appropriate material. Now suppose if you are having different constituents which has to be separated. Suppose I am saying three components that is to be separated. Let our three components be A, B and C. Okay, let's assume that these three components A, B and C are of different colors. So we take that mixture containing these three different components of different colors. Okay, and we put it on a particular adsorbing material. The material should be such that the material should be capable of absorbing all the three components on it. So we'll find that the component which will be more absorbable, which gets absorbed more, will be getting absorbed easily, faster, and that component will be separated faster. At the same time, the component which is also less in quantity, that is lighter components, the one which is less in quantity, obviously it will be lighter, its density will be lesser, so that component will be the first to get separated. And the component which will be more quantity, obviously that component will be heavier, its density will be more, and that component will be separated after some time, that is after the separation of the lighter components. So it is based on the difference in the rates of adsorption of different components on the surface of a suitable adsorbent. The common adsorbents that we use or we can use are the filter paper, a special type of filter paper that has been used, which is also called as the Watt pen filter paper, or we can also use silica gel, and there are other adsorbents also. But you can see I have underlined separate points over here. On these are the important points. I will underline this filter paper because usually we use this filter paper or the Watt pen filter paper. We rarely use this silica gel. I remember when I was a student, I have carried out this experiment using the Watt pen filter paper. And the common solvents that we use are the water and the ethyl alcohol. Acetic acid also can be used, but these are the two common solvents. When I did the experiment, I have used ethyl alcohol. The principle of the separation, that is one phase will be stationary and the other phase is mobile. That is one of the phase, one of the components, one of the phase will remain stationary, will not move, and the other component will be moving. Now which phase will be stationary? That is the adsorbent. As I told you, the substances get adsorbed on a suitable adsorbent. So this adsorbent will be the stationary phase, and the mixtures which are to be separated, that will be the mobile phase. So these will get adsorbed, these will move, this will be the mobile phase, and the adsorbent which you use, that is your filter paper or the Watt pen filter paper, this is going to be the stationary phase. There are various types of chromatography like the liquid column chromatography, the gas chromatography, but the most common type of chromatography which we students also we do it in a laboratory is a paper chromatography. So paper chromatography, which is also we use a chromatography paper which is also called as the Watt pen filter paper, and as I told you earlier, that is a lighter component which will be less in quantity, rises first. It means that it gets separated faster, followed by the heavier component, that is the one which is more in quantity. So let's begin with the process. We can do this process in two ways. Either we can take a strip of a Watt pen paper, Watt pen filter paper, or we can take a circular shaped Watt pen filter paper. Usually we get it in the circular shape, but you can also cut it in this particular shape, that is in lengthwise also. So first I am going to show you with this circular filter paper or the circular Watt pen filter paper. We take this paper and we just draw one line over this at the center of this paper. After drawing a line, you'll find the midpoint of this line and you just pierce it. So I'm just using this pencil to pierce it. You can use a needle over here. Okay, and then what we do is that we just take one thread. The thread should be a bit thicker, the usual thread that is used for tying your answer scripts in the examination. That sort of thread is required. So this thread has been taken. I have put a knot over here so that this thread, it should not pass through this, that is, it should stay over here when I'm passing it. So because of this because of this knot, the thread, it remains over here, it will not pass across this. Now we take our, so this is our stationary phase. This paper, Fortman filter paper, is a stationary phase, and then we take our solvent. We can take water or ethyl alcohol. Here I am taking water. When I was a student, I have taken ethyl alcohol. We fill it into this. Okay, and then what we do, that is a component which is to be separated. Usually the colored inks, it can be separated. So suppose if I want to separate the components of this black colored ink, I'll be putting this over here. Or suppose if different colored inks have been mixed together, so we'll be putting that over here. So first let me show you with different colors. The ink of this particular color has to be separated, so I'll just put it over here. So this method, basically you can understand, it is used for separation of components which are in very less quantity. You can see this ink is very less, that is, this color is very less. All the three colors which I am using over here are very less over here. Okay, so when the components are very less in quantity, this method, it can be used for separation. So I have put this, a small portion of this mixture over here. Either it can be mixed all together and can be put the ink together, or one by one all the three components can be put. Now what I will do, I will put this paper into this. Usually in the lab we use a petri dish. Here I am using this one ball. So what is happening, what is the role of this thread over here is that this thread becomes wet into this solvent. As the thread becomes wet into this solvent, the solvent which is there, it will rise up through the thread by the capillary action. That solvent will come in contact with this colored ink over here, and it will get mixed with it. This solvent will help the components of this ink to get separated. Now we keep this for some around 6 to 7 hours, or probably for a day. It has been kept, I have kept it for a day, and then after a day, what we do, we take this paper, we take out this thread, and we just keep it for drying into an oven which is used in the laboratory. That oven is called as a convection oven, and it is also called as the incubation oven. Now that is a special type of oven which uses the dry air, and it will be having a controlled temperature. The temperature will not be very high, otherwise your materials under study will get burnt. So it uses a controlled temperature to dry your materials under study. So after 2 days, after 1.5 days or around about 2 days, when you have dried the paper into the incubation oven, you will find the different colored concentric rings are obtained. This is green, and this is your pink color, and this is your black color. So from this we come to know that different constituents have been separated. What we do is that we place it and we just scrap it off either, or you can cut this small strip in three places over here, and you can separate the different components. So this is how we separate the different constituents of a mixture which is in very small quantity by paper chromatography. Paper chromatography, it can be done in this particular way also. That is, I have taken a Whatman paper in this rectangular shape over here. I have cut it with a thin strip of the Whatman filter paper, and I have just taken one pencil, and this has been put around the pencil with the help of a clip or a safety pin that you can take. After this, what you do is that you just take round about an inch or 2 centimeter, and you draw one line over here. Okay, so this line has been drawn over here, and your components that is to be separated, will be placing the drop of this one drop of the component that is to be separated over here. So I am taking this black color ink over here, and I am just just at the center I am putting one drop of this black color ink over here. Now this black color ink, it may be a mixture of various colors over here, blue or green or whatever. So we'll find out the different components which has been present into this. And then in this glass I am taking some water. You can also take ethyl alcohol. Okay, I am filling it, and then we have to suspend this paper into this glass, and it should be in such a way that the paper just touches the solvent but should not dip into this. So the paper is just being touching the solvent, but it is not getting dipped. The solvent just touches the paper but not getting dipped into this, and this has to be kept suspended for some few hours, for 6 hours or 8 hours, or if required it can be kept for a day. After keeping it for a day, you'll find that the solvent rises through this paper. It comes in contact with this your colored ink over here by the capillary action. When you see that the solvent has risen, has come up to this colored ink, you take out this strip over here and you keep it for drying into the oven. That is a special type of oven, your incubation oven or convection oven, which I told you earlier for the previous method also. And then the drying takes around about a day or sometimes even 2 days also. After 2 days, you take the strip out from the glass. Then you count the bands on the paper. You can see there are different bands. That is, one is the dark colored band and it has been followed by the lighter colors. It means that this ink is having the different colors. That is a very dark blue color as well as the black color. So it shows that the solvent has come up to the ink by the elution action or the capillary action. You notice the color of each band. You count the each band, and so from the number of bands obtained, you come to know the different components present into the ink. Now this black colored ink, it is basically a mixture of various colored pigments, and you can see it has got separated by this method of paper chromatography. Let's all move on to the advantages of paper chromatography. There is a very small quantity of a substance, it can be separated. You all have seen that the amount of ink, that is the drop which I put, was so small, and such a small quantity of the components of a mixture can also be separated. Components with similar physical and chemical properties can be separated. Obviously, there are different dyes, their properties will be same. The different colored inks, their properties are same. So even they can be separated. It identifies the different constituents of a mixture. Once the separation has been done, you can also identify all those different components. It helps in quantitative estimation of components of a mixture. That is, it helps in, what is quantitative estimation? When you find out the exact quantity, whether the ink that was present was 0.001 milligram, or it was even less than a milligram, or half a milligram, or 0.05 milligram. So that when you are finding out the exact quantity of a substance, that is called as the quantitative estimation. So although your mixture may contain very less amount of components, but even that such a less amount of a component can also be estimated, can also be found out. Basically, it is the latest technology that we are following, chromatography. Applications of chromatography. It has got many applications. It can be used to separate colors in a dye. A dye may be having different colors, so they can be separated. Drugs from blood. You take many types of drugs that get absorbed in your blood, and sometimes when that has to be found out what drug a person has taken, something goes wrong, then this chromatography, it can be carried out. Then pigments from natural colors. The natural colors, it has got various pigments mixed together. Different colors has been mixed together. Suppose if you say that is your purple color, it may be having some shade of blue, it may be having some shade of yellow. So different pigments that can be separated from the natural colors. That is the next method, the next application, that is to purify many industrial products. There are various industrial products, and if they are in very less quantity, or it's very difficult to separate them, they are having the similar physical and chemical properties, then those industrial products, it can also be separated by the use of this chromatography. The various types of chromatography, that is the gas chromatography, the liquid column chromatography, or the paper chromatography. So we complete over here this process of chromatography, students. Thank you, students.